Hi everyone, my name is Daria, and today I'm going to talk about one of the most common issues when it comes to learning a new language. It's a language barrier. So, what is it? A language barrier is a barrier to communication between people who are unable to speak a common language. And it may actually occur when a person has a knowledge of the language, the basic knowledge of the language, but for some obvious reasons, people cannot communicate. They cannot use the language in general. So, as for me, it happened to me a lot when I was trying to learn something new. And I think everyone has ever faced this problem. And even now, when I'm learning Turkish, I guess it may happen to me a lot. It may happen to me again, but I hope it won't. So, let's talk about reasons why it may happen. The most obvious reason, in my opinion, it's just the fear of embarrassment, the fear of saying something wrong, and the fear of being incompetent in front of the native speaker. So, I guess it's a psychological issue in some cases. And is it possible to overcome this issue by yourself, or we should visit a psychologist and everything will be perfect? For example, when I was a child, I had a strong fear of speaking English, despite the fact that I started to learn it when I was 6. And my parents were trying to help me a lot. They sent me to a linguistic school in my town, and lessons there were not entirely in English, 80% of my native language Russian and 20% of English. And that was really bad. They did not provide any practice. And also my parents were trying to force me to speak while traveling. Like, come on, you can do this. It's not a problem. No one will judge, and you know grammar, you know how to speak, obviously. And it didn't work well. So I guess it's just because of the fact that we are just used to follow the perfect English presented in the books. And teachers, in my country for example, are sure that if we will mispronounce something or use the wrong preposition, the wrong tense, the wrong word, native speakers will never understand us. So it's not true. And when I was 14, my parents decided to send me to a language school in the United Kingdom. And the most interesting thing that I overcame a language barrier in 2 weeks. And it was the best experience in my life. And it's not because of the change of the scenery, it's because of the attitude of locals to foreigners who are trying to learn their language. And it actually turned out that native speakers can also make mistakes. They can use the wrong tense, they can use the wrong preposition, and it's the most natural thing. And we are not robots, so no one will judge. Secondly, they don't care about the accent. I mean, it's not necessary to copy an accent as long as your speech is understandable. So, here are some tips which are, in my opinion, are useful for overcoming this issue. First of all, be patient and open-minded. Don't panic if something goes wrong. Try to listen to carefully when you are talking to a native speaker, and don't be afraid of asking questions. Secondly, try to immerse yourself to the world of the language. There are a lot of songs, films, podcasts, TED Talks, and I also know about websites which are providing an opportunity to talk to a native speaker. I mean, video call or even chat or voice call, so it's really helpful. Thirdly, try to learn something about the culture because the language is closely related to the culture and it may be helpful. And remember that you are not on the exam and it's just a real life conversation. No one will judge and don't panic. And remember that overcoming a language barrier, it's not about being fluent in every language. It's just about creating an understandable environment. And even small efforts can make difference in creating a world where communication it's just an unified force, not a barrier. Thank you.